Alright, so problem number 3. I should probably stop clapping my hands every time I do a problem. But anyways, problem number 3 is a little bit trickier. We got a product rule going on, we got some chain rule going on, we got some derivatives of inverse trig functions going on, then we've got some assay simplification going on. So those are the four things that we need to be concerned with on this problem. So I'm going to get started. The derivative of this first part requires a product rule. So the derivative of x is 1 times the square root of 1 minus x squared plus x times the derivative of this square root is 1/2 times 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared times the derivative of the inside. The derivative of negative x squared is times a negative 2x. Remember, you can include that negative because of the minus sign. A few people messed that up on the last test. So then, plus the derivative of the inverse cosine, which is negative 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. Remember, the derivatives of the inverse cosine, inverse cotangent, and inverse cosecant all have negatives on their derivatives. Okay, so now we have to do some nasty simplification because if you look at the problem, none of this is anywhere close. So I have to add all these terms to get one term, and I'm going to do that by finding a common denominator. If I multiply this square root of 1 minus x squared, top and bottom, by the square root of 1 minus x squared, aka, what am I talking about? The square root of 1 minus x squared times the square root of 1 minus x squared over the square root of 1 minus x squared. That equals the square root, just kidding, that equals, the numerator becomes 1 minus x squared all over the square root of 1 minus x squared. So that's what I'm going to do to this first problem. So I get 1 minus x squared over the square root of 1 minus x squared minus this minus from my negative sign. Then 2 times x gives me x squared, but the 2's actually cancel. All over the square root of 1 minus x squared plus, and by plus I mean minus, from that minus 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. Whew. Then what happens here? 1 minus 1 goes away. Minus x squared gives you negative 2x squared all over the square root of 1 minus x squared. And hopefully that is C. C. Yes, C. Okay, trick of the day. Actually, you get a trick is animal impressions trick. I'm going to do 3 quick animals for you. I don't like doing this in front of people, so now that there's time and screen in front of us, who cares? If you laugh at me, I won't be able to hear it. So here we go. Here goes tricks 3 and all my self-esteem. Animal trick number 1, cats. Here we go. 3-ball impression of the cats. So there's an apple in my teeth. Here we go. Hopefully you didn't see that apple. Now, trick number 2 is the elephant. Elephant. Here we go. So funny. Okay, now trick number 3 is animal impression number 3, the monkey. This one's kind of hard actually, so hopefully I don't screw it up. Here we go. On to the next problem.